We have two options in the UFC to have a three-division champ for the first time ever. It's either Ilia Topuria or Khamzat Chimaev. Could Ilia Topuria beat the welterweight champion, either JDM or Makhachev? That's a very tough ask. He'll be very tiny at 170. He'll be like Matt Serra. He'll be a tiny little squirt. It's not impossible for him to win, but very, very hard. Chimaev, though, this video isn't about if Chimaev would be competitive at light heavyweight, because he would. Chimaev could give a very hard fight to Ankalaev, and he would dominate Pereira. Pereira's only hope is to land one of his big flying knees. And if he misses it, game over. You get taken down. Pereira has nothing for him at that point. Ankalaev, though, on the other hand, that would be a good fight. But I do think he could beat Ankalaev. I do. The question is, could Chimaev compete against the top guys at heavyweight? Could he beat Tom Aspinall? That I will say no. Currently, no. I don't think he could beat Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall smokes Chimaev. But this is going to be the next 3 to 5 years of Khamzat Chimaev we're talking about. Is Tom Aspinall still going to be in the sport, 4 years from now? Probably not. He might retire. He's talked about, he only wants a few fights and then he'll probably go away. And there might be a new champion at that point. Most likely there will be. But Chimaev, does he have the frame to fight at heavyweight? Would he fight at 240, 230? Or would he fatten himself up all the way to 265? I think it would be a mistake for him to fatten himself up. He doesn't need to fight at 265. He could fight at 235, 240. Jilton Almeida's had success at 240. And he's a top 5 heavyweight at this point. Look at some of these pictures, okay? Because we've had guys like this before that, they can bloat up to heavyweight and they could fight all the way down to middleweight. Jared Cannonier is a perfect example. You're seeing Jared Cannonier at heavyweight, light heavyweight, and at middleweight. Other examples, Chris Daukaus. Chris Daukaus is a middleweight who bloated himself up and looks like this saggy tub of expired milk at heavyweight. And, this is him at light heavyweight. He could have even gone down like his brother. He's got the frame for it. He's not a naturally muscular guy. That's not his genetics. He could have gone down to middleweight. Perfect example, Rumble Johnson. Rest in peace to Anthony Rumble Johnson. But Chimaev, this is kind of like him. Chimaev's fought at 170. He was way too big for that weight class. He's currently fighting at 185. This is Johnson at 205. This is Johnson at 230. I think Chimaev could give a lot of heavyweights a lot of problems. Because here's the thing with grappling and wrestling, okay? Height and reach and, all this stuff, size, it doesn't matter all that much. We've seen small guys take down giants. Tank Abbott took down these big guys that were like 6 to 7 inches taller than him. Fedor Emelianenko took down 6'10" Semi Schilt. Took down that big 7-foot Japanese guy, Tokoyama or whatever. You know the one, the guy that he put in an armbar that made him look so tiny. He was 6 foot, Fedor. Chimaev's 6'2", 6'1", around that height. So people that are going to look at you in a straight face saying oh, Cyril Gane would be too big for Chimaev at 6'4". He wouldn't. 2-inch height difference. Yeah, Gane would be fighting at 255. He'd be a big guy, but Chimaev would eat Cyril Gane for breakfast. Chimaev would eat a lot of these guys for breakfast at heavyweight. He just would. And, we're talking about a heavyweight division 3 to 4 years in the future. By the time Chimaev he gets 2 defenses at middleweight, then he probably moves to light heavyweight, beats them there. And then I think once he wins the belt at light heavyweight, he would probably just move to heavyweight immediately, just for the legacy at that point. He would be the first 3-division champ. If anyone could do it, it's got to be him. There's nobody else. I don't give Topuria a chance, now that I think about it. I really don't give Topuria a chance against a bloated up 190-pound Islam Makhachev on fight night. Islam Makhachev would be like 190, 195 pounds on fight night against that small little 5'7" frame of Ilia Topuria. I just don't give him a chance. Chimaev is him. He's the guy. Another example. This dude, Jake Collier, the first guy that Tom Aspinall fought in his UFC debut. This is him at middleweight. And this is him at heavyweight, all bloated up. This guy was like 6'1". I'm pretty sure. 6'1", 6'2", like the same height as Chimaev. And this is him at 265. Chimaev, like I said, he doesn't need to be 265. Jilton Almeida's 240, and he's dominated throughout the division. So, really, let's look at the rankings for heavyweight. Again, I don't give him a chance to beat Tom Aspinall at the moment. We still need to see Tom Aspinall, suffer a little bit. We need to see Tom Aspinall in there with some adversity. I don't think we're going to see it with Cyril Gane. I hope that Jilton Almeida does beat Volkov, but Volkov's a tough guy to beat. I hope we get to see Almeida versus Tom Aspinall, because that would answer a lot of questions. How would Tom Aspinall defend those takedowns? But let's just see, okay? Chimaev would destroy Cyril Gane. It wouldn't be close. Would Chimaev take down Volkov? 6'7", 6'8", Alexander Volkov. I think he could. Like I was mentioning about these other wrestlers early on in the sport that were like really small. Tank Abbott was 6 foot. Fedor Emelianenko 6 foot. Daniel Cormier 5'11". Taking down these big dudes. We've never seen Daniel Cormier take down like a guy like Volkov, but we've seen him take down 6'4" guys. 6'5" Alexander Gustafsson. Granted, that was at light heavyweight, but still, took down John Jones, took down Stipe Miocic. Sergey Pavlovich. Could Chimaev beat Sergey Pavlovich? Easily. Without a doubt. Sergey Pavlovich got taken down by Alistair Overeem and ground and pounded and destroyed. Oh, but what about Sergey's striking? What about his reach? Yeah, that'll be negated by one of Chimaev's double leg shots. Chimaev is so fucking fast with his takedowns. It doesn't matter how much reach you have. It doesn't matter how hard you punch. What about Curtis Blades? Curtis Blades, he's got a background in wrestling. Surely he could pose a threat to Chimaev. I don't think so. I think Chimaev could beat a Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades is just... He's up there. He's ranked number 4, but I don't consider him elite. He's just number 4 because everybody else is bad. And because Jilton Almeida did a horrible takedown against him and got his temple elbowed. Jilton Almeida. Now that would be a fight. Who would come out in the grappling exchanges? I would love to see that fight if it happens. Really would. That's a big question mark. I don't know. Waldo Cortez Acosta, and then like from here on down, Cortez Acosta, Tybura, Spivak. Tybura and Spivak both have grappling experience, so, they're big, fat, heavy guys. Maybe they could do something with Chimaev, but I don't think so. Derek Lewis, maybe Derek Lewis has a puncher's chance, maybe, but probably not. And then all these other guys. Shamil Gaziev would destroy Chimaev because they're from the same region. Shamil Gaziev is the only guy. But yeah, Mick Parkin, Taliesin Teixeira. Walter Walker. Walter Walker probably has a higher chance of beating Chimaev than a lot of these other dudes. Just because the heel hooks. Just because if you get taken down, if Walter Walker gets taken down by Chimaev, you never know when he can put you in a fucking heel hook out of nowhere. I give Walter Walker a higher chance than Cyril Gane and Volkov and Pavlovich and Curtis Blades, easily. I'm so excited for Chimaev, man. And that win over DDP, it was boring, but now that I look at it, man, DDP, he's a strong motherfucker. He's a big motherfucker. DDP's a guy that could easily fight at light heavyweight if he really wanted to. He's that big and thick. So, all these other light heavyweights, Chimaev could easily beat. Magomed Ankalaev, he's not a big, thick dude. He's 6'3". Don't pretend like he's so much bigger than Chimaev. They're going to be like the similar size. Pereira, 6'5". He's listed as 6'4". He's 6'5". He would get taken down by Chimaev easily. Like all these dudes. Chimaev's our first triple champ. I'm calling it right now. We can fast forward 4 years from now when Chimaev fights for the heavyweight belt, and we can come back to this video. I'm telling you right now, Khamzat Chimaev will be our first 3-division champion. It's got to be him if he pushes for it. If he's just going to defend at middleweight for the rest of his career, that's one thing. But if he pushes for it, if he has the ego for it, the drive, the ambition, the vision for it, he could be. He's going to have to eat a lot of shawarma. He's going to have to eat a lot of kebabs or whatever they eat over there. A lot of hummus. He's going to have to stock up on that hummus to make all that weight and the muscle mass. And I've seen some pictures of Chimaev on his Instagram, like when he's not cutting weight. The guy's fucking big. The guy can easily make 230 if he really wants to. And he could push for 240. He would have a little flabby belly, but that's fine. He would still be fast compared to guys that weigh 265. He is him. Khamzat Chimaev, first triple division champion. You heard it here first, folks. That's all I've got for you. I got to go to sleep right now so that I wake up at 6 to watch this Chinese fight night. So I'll be streaming like the last main card, the last 4 fights probably, if I wake up on time. Hopefully I do. So peace out. I'm going to go. I'm going to dip. Subscribe right now, motherfuckers. Hit that subscribe button. I know you want to do it. Do it right now. Peace out.